Hey you guys, this is Sarah Prince with The Sarah Show. I wanted to jump on here really quick and let you know, actually, I have done a podcast show before. 2 years ago, I had a podcast called Breakthrough to Your Beautiful Life, where we talked about ways to increase your awareness so that you can change the life and follow your heart in the way that you truly desire. But life happened and that podcast no longer exists. So I wanted to play it for you here on The Sarah Show as the first 20 episodes or so, just as an added bonus, absolutely free, because a lot of what I talked about on that podcast is very similar to what we will be talking about on this podcast. So please enjoy, and I look forward to sending new episodes to you with The Sarah Show in the weeks to come. Welcome to the Breakthrough to Your Beautiful Life podcast. I'm Sarah Prince. I am here with another awesome story for you today and the principles behind that and how you can apply it into your life so we can bring more joy, fulfillment, and exhilarating energy back to your life. Let me run this by you. I'm actually thinking about renaming this podcast to Rebirth Your Beautiful Life, or Bring Back Your Joy, something a little bit different. But if you guys have ideas for me, please send them my way, comment or share below, and I would love to hear them, because I think breakthrough isn't quite what we're going for here as we chat on these episodes. And I'm so glad that you're still listening. I apologize, I took a few months off. We had some big changes in our family with moving multiple times, and I'm sure that I'll use those stories in episodes to come. So thank you for your patience with me, and I appreciate you still listening. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that you are always going to receive miracles in your life, and they come as disguises. And they come unexpectedly. And you get to increase your awareness in recognizing them. So first, let me tell you a story. I used to work I had a corporate job in a medical company, and I was a project manager. I had an engineering degree, and I'd been there for about 4 years. And I'd had good experiences at work, no issues. But then one day, all of a sudden, my boss came to me and reported that there had been complaints. I'd made a few mistakes, and some other folks had to work overtime to cover for me and to fix some things that I had no idea about. They didn't come to me. And excuse me, guys, I'm trying to get over a cold again. So life happens. But back to the story. And then my boss was telling me, he felt I wasn't communicating effectively at all, and that I wasn't at my desk during lunch hours, like around noon, between 11 and 1. And I'm like, okay. That one really blew my mind, because I was like, well, that's lunch break. Anyway, the details don't really matter, but I felt like he didn't truly believe my perspective, and I felt that whoever had come to him with issues or complaints, that he believed them and didn't want to listen to me. And so that day I felt burned, and I was beyond confused at how this was happening. Yes, of course I'd made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but it all just seemed to attack at once. And I did my best to remedy the situation, and it unfortunately got worse. So this was all around the Christmas holidays, and after we came home from Christmas and New Year's, the very first Monday we were all back in the office, he called me back into his office again, and it was just more of the same. And I felt like he was describing someone that had stolen my identity and smeared it all over my name. Like, I couldn't process what he was talking about and what was happening. And then finally, I just got crystal clear on one thing. I told him I wanted a different job. And of course, I would fulfill my obligations as an employee in this role. And we talked about, okay, maybe where I wanted to move to within the company, and he promised to help me. And of course, that didn't happen at all. But the point of my story is that that day, amidst all the confusion and amidst just horrible feelings that came crashing down on me, I had this huge epiphany and long overdue realization that I disliked my career. I had spent 6 years getting a bachelor's degree in a field that I mostly didn't like, and of course, there were aspects of it that I loved and fascinated me, but overall, like 80-90% of that career path, I didn't like. I felt like I wasted time in meetings all day, and I just worked on spreadsheets and created reports, and it didn't excite me. And so my word for that year became the word quit. And this was really the first time I ever had a word for the year. You know how New Year's comes around and folks, they like to pick up a single word to help them that sums up the entire year, all of their goals, how they want to be, and so that they can just simply remember one word. And for me, this was the first time I'd done that, and my word that year was quit. And I wrote it down, and I wrote all these things about the things that I quit that no longer serve me. And like this career was no longer serving me, and sure, it had good benefits, but that was about it. And I had convinced myself that I needed to stay there. And when I made this decision to quit after this epiphany, I knew it was time to find something better that brought life back into me again. And so I set out that day I had a little blogging side hustle going on, and I thought, okay, I'm going to replace my income, and I'm going to be one of those moms that their job is at home, and they're able to earn enough income to replace their day job. And then when that happened, I'm like, okay, and then I'm going to go into my boss and say the magic word, and I'm going to quit my job. And so this was like my entire output for a few months. It was like the only thing I thought about. And lo and behold, 4 months later, God shined on my life, and it came in a completely unexpected way. I was laid off from my job. This company I worked for had 1,500 to 2,000 employees, and they only let go like 45 or 50 people, and I was one of them. And it was funny, I was sitting at the table. My manager's right there, he won't even look at me and won't even talk to me really. He's just going through the motions. And then the HR gal is across the table from me, going through the paperwork, telling me all the stuff she has to tell me. And she looks at me and she's like, you were taking this really well. And then she, you're taking this really well. And I said, this ain't my first rodeo. That's all I said, because I'd been laid off before. I knew how it worked. But I was so elated. I walked out of that place like beaming, free as a bird. Like I had this energy that just wanted to burst out. And I sat in my car and I praised God. this was, I was so, I was so unbelievably excited that this miracle came to me. This was a huge crossroads in my life because my life dramatically changed after that. And so I want to share what the key things I learned from this experience. That when you are in a crossroads of your life, whether it's intentional or not, these two things I want you to remember. One is to never follow what the world defines as realistic for you. Whatever others tell you, oh, Sarah, you need to be realistic. You need to get down off your dream cloud, and you need to be realistic, and you need to come down to this level. This is the path you take. Never follow what someone else or what a counselor or a career guide or even a family member defines as realistic for you, because it's a lie. You were never meant to just follow the same path as everyone else and grunge it out for decades in order to barely scrape by and tell yourself you should be grateful and that you'll be happy with what you have. Because it's a load of crock. You were blessed with all this capability the moment you were conceived, and your path is only unique to you. And you absolutely do not need to stay in a situation that you don't love. And of course, yes, there are aspects of every situation in our life that, doesn't leave us bright and beaming like a firework. You can still create a life exactly how you want and love it, no matter what it looks like. You've just got to believe in yourself. And somebody else's quote-unquote realistic picture for you is not yours. So that's the first one. First thing to remember, what the world defines for you as realistic actually isn't, because the world can't tell you what your best path is. Only you can figure that out. Okay, number 2, whatever you focus on with a righteous intent, good intent, positive intent, the beautiful energies of this universe are going to do everything they can to help you. I don't care what you believe in, all of the energy of life is going to come and do everything to help you when you focus on something with a beautiful intent. You're going to be surprised in beautiful ways when miracles happen, because they provide the results you seek. And it doesn't have to be this big, glamorous, come to Jesus moment with praise and angels and defying the obstacles of life type miracles. Miracles can be teeny, tiny, little things that come in the perfect moment, at the perfect time, exactly when you need it, from a stranger. You never know when it's coming. You're never going to know what will happen, and even if you plan out every single detail, miracles are going to come in unexpected ways. And when you are aware enough of what's going on in your life with intention, and you are gracefully humble about how those miracles will come, they will come. So back to my story, even though I didn't end up needing to quit, right? Because I had made this plan, I had laid it out. Okay, I'm going to do this and this and this, and this is how I'm going to quit. And I pictured it, and I thought, okay, that's how it's going to work. Even though I didn't end up needing to quit, I didn't even need to hand in a notice, I didn't have to give 2 weeks leave, I still received exactly what I wanted. It came in the form of a layoff, but it's still exactly what I wanted. And so many folks were sorry for me, and they were worried, oh, Sarah, you lost your job. I had one coworker, one out of all of them, and he came to me, and he had this worried, distraught look on my face when I was packing up my stuff, and I had my boys with me, and for dramatic emphasis, and he's like, you gonna be okay? Let me know if I can refer you or give you a testimonial on your LinkedIn and help you find a job. And I was just like, oh no, I'm good, thank you. And he was like he was just sorry about what happened to me, but I wasn't. When something happens for you that most people are going to look at as negative, you get to see the miracle in it. I felt such a glorious flow of energy that day, and I know that this was a miracle for me. And this works for you too. Every single day. Every single day. 1, remember to never follow what someone else defines as realistic for you, because you have an unlimited capability and capacity to only do what you were uniquely designed to do. And whatever you focus on with a righteous intent, everything is going to come together to help you. Miracles still come. Miracles still happen. Miracles will not go away. You get to see them as what they are. And they happen every single day. Even the sun coming up in the morning is a miracle. Your child coming to you and saying thank you is a miracle. The cashier at the grocery store giving you an extra coupon on something you bought, that's a miracle. Finding the extra cash that you've been hoping and praying for suddenly from out of the blue in an unexpected way is a miracle. Miracles still come. And if you want more of the joyous big ones that you expect, follow these two things that we talked about today. I love you guys so much. If you enjoy this, if this is helpful for you, please let me know. If you can subscribe, rate, and review, share this with a friend. I would love for you to take a screenshot, share it on Instagram. You can tag me on there, and I would love to hear from you. So let's create something. Open up the ears, open up the hearts, and open up the minds and souls of people we love with these fabulous ideas, because they are truth. And I believe in miracles every single day. I look forward to talking to you soon. We'll see you next time. Bye.